game coming up, our first match of 4, and I'm not sure if they are currently around the GM, but let me go ahead and reveal who it is and see if they are willing to show up. Mike! It's good old Mike Uyama who's going to be choosing the first game. You know, nothing like a Mike game. It's just something that is beautiful. Hello there, Mike.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, Mike games, I can never expect what you're going to have, except that it's usually Genesis.
Well, we're going a little bit off the beaten path here. It's still Sega, but it's not Genesis.
Okay, still Sega, not Genesis. Well, what do you have for today? People are guessing Game Gear.
Well, they're not wrong, because when you need those special versions of games, you have to turn to the Game Gear.
It's true.
I mean, sure, there's Green Dog Genesis, but the Game Gear is just so much more special.
Oh, I love it. I love the Game Gear version. It's hilarious. Okay, so what do we have today?
Oh, I guess I've gone back to my round 1 cartoon roots, because this is another cartoon video game.
Uh-oh. Well, let's...
And this one, and as you can guess, this one is a little bit worse than the other ones because I've saved it all the way until round 4.
Aw, how kind of you.
I know, right? I mean, I just want to give these high-scoring players, for those of you who don't know, these players all have 24 or 25 points.
Yeah, so it's actually going to be a pretty good fight to see who makes it.
So that's some combination of either second twice and then first, or first twice and third once.
Yes.
So that means these are all very strong players.
So what game do we have, Mike?
We have The Adventures of Batman and Robin. For
Game Gear.
Yeah. So funny thing, you'll be like, hey, I've played this for Genesis, or hey, I've played this for Super Nintendo, both of which are entirely different versions. The Super Nintendo version is by Konami, and it's a good game. The only flaw with that game is that I would say the bosses take a very long time to beat. The Genesis version is very difficult, but is also a good game, and is actually an in-house Sega game with a second-party developer.
Really?
The Game Gear game is programmed by the Echo developers, and they didn't seem too familiar with the Game Gear hardware. And they kind of took the sprite from the Genesis version, and yeah, that's kind of about it.
Do you get to control, like, Echo?
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the controls are kind of the opposite of Echo, because you know how Echo's really, like, twitchy and, like, slides all over the place?
Oh, yeah.
This game, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like the game is built-in input lag.
Uh-oh. Okay, 100% input lag, that's what our players are going to experience today.
Yeah, so if you see, like, the players missing jumps or just, like, being completely off, it's not because these players are bad, it's because the controls are that bad.
How did you come across this game, this version of the game specifically?
So I actually discovered this, not this RPG Limit Break, but last RPG Limit Break, when we were really digging into the Game Gear library.
Oh, that was fun, Mike.
It was a lot of fun, and I did play this game, and I did get pretty stuck in this game at one point. And then I decided to revisit it, and I have beaten the game now. This game's a little weird. I'm not going to go into too many details in case any of the players are in chat or listening to me.
Okay.
But there's definitely going to be a learning curve to the badness of this game.
Oh.
And I hope they read the manual, or else there's some stuff that they might not know how to do.
Okay. Well, that, you give out a manual and you hope. You hope that they read it, so... I don't know, we've had death by manual before, huh, Mike?
Yeah, although I don't know if mine counts as death by manual. Mine probably counts more death by manual omission or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is you did read the manual, and that's...
Exactly! I followed the manual as if it was supposed to, tell me how to play the game in all the controls, like, you know,
wow.
99% of manuals do.
I mean, it's supposed to, you know, but, you know, sometimes knowing how to play a game is a luxury, Mike, not a...
Yeah, exactly. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, during the GDQ Kusogr4nde, I was eliminated by the Daffy Duck game because I didn't know how to run, and neither did Dana, but he reached the area that we were stuck at before I did. And even though I had a chance to overtake him, I never got that chance because I made the mistake of reading the manual.
I know! I love it!
Pressing random buttons, apparently. Yeah, I know.
Oh, Mike, like, every once in a while I give a game out and I just don't know what kind of horror will strike, but that is... that's a unique way of...
Which is funny, because I feel like I'm pretty good at figuring out crap like that. Like, I figured out Captain Novel and down to jump at enemies pretty quickly, but, like, because you didn't have to use that for such a long time, it just didn't even enter my head that there would be a run button.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. By the way, it looks like we're just about ready with the game. I want to give a thank you to people who have resubscribed during this, because I see quite a few people. Caro Z, Donkey Clonk, and Droxy, thank you so much. So this is the game that we're going to have today, and I don't hear any audio. Okay. The title screen doesn't have audio, right? Well, why would it?
Yeah, why would the title screen have, like, music or anything like that, like any other game?
I know, right?
Spekio did confirm that he was getting audio.
Okay, I'm just going to check so that I don't get my ears destroyed. Let me turn the audio down. Oh, no.
The audio is pretty quiet. Hey, I mean, let's be real, bro. Compared to Tasmania, this is like a musical masterpiece.
I mean, I guess. Masterpiece is one word for this.
But then again, I mean, compared to Tasmania, if there are two notes that aren't, you know, discordant with each other, it's a musical masterpiece.
This music sounds like it was played through a microphone.
Yeah, no, this is the real music. It is some hot Game Gear jams. And do you know what the sad part is? This is probably one of the better Game Gear soundtracks, because most of them will make your ears bleed.
Oh, yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, so right now, the people who take first and second will be moving on. The person who takes third will likely have a tiebreaker, and fourth is out of the tournament. This is one of those high-stakes matches.
It is definitely a high-stakes match, which is why, you know, I have a high-stakes game on the line. You gotta rescue Robin. That's his only appearance in the game. You rescued him.
Dangle Robin.
Sorry for the spoilers. About the third place, whether they make it into the bracket or not depends on whether a 24 or 25 score. If they're a 25 score, then they're in a 30-point range and they're cleanly into the bracket. If they're 24, then they go into the tiebreaker round, because that's the 29, which is a lot of tied people there. Okay, so Spekio is the only person who can safely take third. And Spekio is a strong player, so I don't think he's going to play to barely not lose. He's definitely going to play to win. I know that after after many matches, he's
what
wanted
was that
to
laugh?
I don't know.
I heard his demonic laugh.
I don't know. Yeah, so I'm sorry if you were hoping for the Genesis one, because the Genesis one actually has a really good soundtrack, because it's composed by the same guy who composed both Subterranea and Red Zone. Jesper Kid. But this one is definitely not composed by him.
I think the game's haunted. I think Spekio is using mic, and I didn't know it. So let me go ahead. I think Spekio does have the microphone on. So let me go ahead and just get a second. We're going to depossess the video game real quick. Okay, so hold your horses. We need an exorcist. Is anybody here a priest?
Wibu was also offering audio if you need audio.
Okay. Just so you know, Mike, when you're not talking, sometimes your microphone gets really loud.
Weird.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm making changes on the fly. We're using Wibubo's audio, and hopefully it's working, because if not, we'll figure something out later. Okay, I'm doing the countdown, so everybody in chat spam bats, mans, or Batmans. What else shows up, Mike?
Lots of falling. There's also flips, because there's a double jump in the game.
Okay, flips. As soon as I see movement, I will start our timer, and there we go. This is already ugly.
So there's a lot of flickering. That's just part of the game, as far as I can tell. It happens both in BizHawk and RetroArch.
Okay.
So you'll notice that they're double jumping a lot, which is good that they're getting the hang of it, because they will need to double jump later in the game. It's technically press jump twice, which is true, but it's not very consistent.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. This game has very bad controls.
Oh, this is bad, Mike. I'm so glad that we've got this.
In fact, I was thinking of giving this to the people at 27 points, but Wizard said this wasn't mean enough, because the thing about this game, so they're gonna face a lot of struggles early on because the controls are very bad. In fact, Spekio is struggling with the double jumps right now. So you can mash it, but if you mash it too much, then you go too low, or it just won't happen, because this game also likes to drop inputs on occasion too. The thing is, there's like a timing to the double jump. You can't do the double jump whenever. It has to be done during your ascent. And that's what Spekio is struggling with right now.
Oh, Lizstar prefers Scunny to this game.
Okay, well maybe I should have given the 20 seconds.
Wow. Wow.
I know. It's all relative, right? Although I will say that Lizstar is the only person who liked Scunny, and everyone else thought it was pretty miserable.
It's true.
In fact, John would have rather played Cybergenic Ranger over Scunny, so...
What? That's a lie. Those are bold words.
Okay, so Wibu is on the first boss. The bosses in this game are not terribly difficult. You do generally want to use your special weapons on them, just because they're stronger than your batarang.
Okay.
But they're really not very challenging at all. And Roar is already on the second Mad Hatter stage.
Yeah, what? But why is it the Mad Hatter? Like, aren't they fighting the Joker?
So the Joker captured Robin, but you have to go through other villains too. Okay,
was the Mad Hatter in Batman lore? Like,
yeah. The Mad Hatter is in Batman lore. His name is Jervis Tetch, and at least in the cartoon, he developed like a mind control technology using like Alice in Wonderland cards and the like, and when he gets rejected by this girl, he starts using the mind control.
Okay.
And becomes a villain.
That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, I honestly don't know much lore about Batman except for the ones that everybody knows. So that helps.
I mean, if you ask me about like modern comic book Batman, I'd be lost too, because that's the thing about comic books, is that if you even stop reading them for like a year or two, then you're just hopelessly behind.
So BlasphemousRoar is trying to fight this snake thing, and I don't know what it is, but it's really destroying it.
I agree. It was a good episode. Yeah, so he's fighting the snake thing. If I remember correctly, there are 3 stages in the Mad Hatter area.
Okay. And I see that you have 9 lives, from what it looks like. Do you have any continues in this game?
You do. You have 3 continues. So the thing is, the players aren't really going to have to worry about losing continues or lives even, but they're just going to have to worry about the really crappy controls, and they're going to have to worry about Mr. Freeze's stage. I'm going to say this. I was considering not giving this game because it might be quote-unquote too nice. But then I realized Mr. Freeze's whole level exists, and there's a good chance that they could just all get stuck there.
Okay,
because
I like it.
You see how imprecise and, like, janky and, like, choppy this scrolling is, and, like... So imagine if you have to deal with, like, moving platforms and precision platforming. That's the end of Mr. Freeze's stage.
Oh,
and that took me at least, like, 20 or 30 minutes to get through. That one stage. So, like, there's a good chance that we could just have players walled there.
I love it.
Otherwise, I would say that there's actually a good chance that players would actually beat this game within the hour.
Okay.
Alright, so this Mad Hatter stage is kind of unique because that both Wibu and BlasphemousRoar are in, because you have to hit the little switches that they've been hitting to unlock progress to the later areas.
They're really figuring this out pretty quickly.
Yeah, both of them are really getting the hang of it. Spekio seems to be struggling a lot. However, he still has a chance to catch up because, as I said, Mr. Freeze's level exists. It's really a matter of how fast they get through the first level and the second level of that. Redford is on the second level of the Mad Hatter area, so he's also catching up.
Yeah, by far nobody's out of this. This is really early on. And simply put, you know, Wibu and BlasphemousRoar may have gotten used to the controls fairly quickly, but, you know, I think Spekio and Redford definitely have a chance, especially because of the wall that you're talking about. Where is the wall? Because we've got the set of Mad Hatter stages. Is Mr. Freeze next?
Yes, Mr. Freeze is the next set of stages.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be, you know?
And so, here's the funny thing. I don't think any of the stages are as hard as the Mr. Freeze stages, but the Mr. Freeze stages are definitely going to wall people. If they somehow blaze through the Mr. Freeze stages, yeah, Freeze 2 is the one that's really impossible. Although I will say this, I feel like RBW kind of fluked through Freeze 1, and I'll explain why once that stage comes up.
Okay.
Oh, and now, so Wibu's encountering the wrecking balls, which are just impossible to determine the depth of, so just rush through them.
Miley Cyrus just swinging right in and destroying him. She's one of the minions of the Mad Hatter, you know?
So that's who spurned the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, now we understand what's happening here.
So I am going to... Dana did say he liked that episode, and I'm going to say that was actually a good episode. Overall, Batman the Animated Series was a really good show, and I would recommend watching it.
Okay.
It's definitely aged well. It's aged a lot. In terms of, like, 90s superhero cartoons, it's aged much better than the X-Men cartoon.
I could believe that. I don't like this snake boss that Redford is fighting. Like, how do you even reliably hit it without getting hit yourself?
Well, that's why you have 9 lives.
Oh. Okay.
That's really it. Like, that's the only thing that makes this game, like, really beatable, is that you just get so many lives that you can just kind of plow through the game.
Yeah, I'm glad that Royal Blue Wizard has a good amount of experience with this as well, giving his thoughts about how beautiful this is.
I mean, he thought it was too nice for the 27s, but he thought it was plenty mean for the 24 and 25, so there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he'll definitely back me up on the controls being very bad, double jumping being very hard to do consistently, and there's some weird sort of built-in input lag. It's not necessarily when you run, but it's when you turn around. There's a delay to it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see a little bit of that. It's... I don't know, this is an interesting game.
That never helps. No, these are a mix of 24s and 25s, Liz. So, first and second are guaranteed into the bracket. If Spekio is third, then he also gets in the bracket. If anyone else is third, then they have to go through the tiebreaker. Okay, it looks like Spekio has finally gotten the hang of double jumping because he's on the first boss. And
very
Blasphemous
nice.
Roar is on the Mad Hatter.
Ooh.
And has learned the trick against bosses, which is use sub-weapons to make them faster.
Yeah, that seems like a good way to handle it. Throw your ninja stars, throw your batarangs. Did Batman usually have ninja stars? Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't. They're a little bit deadlier than what he goes for most of the time.
The only time I've seen him have ninja stars is in other Batman games.
Oh, okay.
But his big restriction is that he never uses guns. Because, you know, that's what killed his parents. Okay, so now Blasphemous Roar is on the Mr. Freeze levels. So there is a gimmick to this level. And the gimmick is you have to use elevators to go around the place. So he's going to get lost for a bit. But there's another really stupid gimmick at the end of this level. And whether he gets through this level quickly is how quickly he figures it out or if he flukes his way through. There is a block of ice hanging off of a column at the very end. He has to jump and kick it with a melee attack. If he shoots at it, it won't disappear. He has to jump and kick it. If he doesn't jump and kick it, then he won't be able to get past it. And that's what walled me the first time I played this game, and the second time too, because that took me at least like 5 or 10 minutes to figure out.
Yeah.
So, that he could get stuck in that anywhere from like a couple minutes to like 15 plus minutes.
Oh my gosh,
really just
okay.
How quickly Blasphemous Roar figures that out. Or the players figure it out, because Wibu is on the same stage, right behind Blasphemous Roar.
But I'm watching. I'm watching for the wall because I'm excited here.
Yeah, it's not going to be until at least like fairly high up into the level.
Okay.
It's going to be on the left, and it's not really very conspicuous either. It basically just kind of looks like part of a column at first, and then you realize it's ice, and then you like try shooting it, and then nothing happens. And I don't even know how I figured out the melee thing. I just kind of fumbled around until I got near it and then hit it. But if you're not right next to it, you won't use a melee attack. So that's the really stupid part. And that's why they could easily be fooled, because if you're just trying to shoot at it, you're not going to use the melee attack, so you think it can't be broken.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Wibu is a little bit stuck right here. Oh, there we go. Wibu got out. Blasphemous Roar is heading a little bit down. I think that's not the right way that he wants to go, right? Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's a bit hazy. I think he actually does need to go down here.
Aha. I do like the music in this game, though. It's actually pretty rockin'.
Yeah, it's not bad music, which for Game Gear is an accomplishment, because Game Gear is full of tunes that are just shrill and make your ears bleed. This is True Relic, and like, if they keep this pace up, they could beat this game, but this really comes down to Mr. Freeze 2. And figuring out the gimmick of this stage. If they figure out the gimmick of this stage very fast, then I give at least one of them a chance of beating this game. And I will try to point out the column of ice when I see it. It's not the little bits of ice that are in between two columns. It's actually like a larger column of ice.
I'm just digging these sounds.
I know, right?
Okay, Wibu is trying to figure out his way through the maze. BlasphemousRoar running around as well. Wow, Mike, you're in a storm right now.
I think that's just my vent. Because it's definitely not stormy here. Okay, so Wibu is actually approaching it right now. It's going to be on the left. He's almost there. It's there. If he kicks it, he's good.
He got it.
Okay, he kicked it. He got it immediately. So that's
nice.
gimmick 1 down.
Okay, good.
I'm not gonna lie, that took me like 10 or 15 minutes to figure out, at least.
Well, it looks like Wibu has made it to the first little boss of this area. Taken a death, not a huge deal. Still plenty of lives left. Honestly, though, the second stage of Mr. Freeze is probably where people are really going to get stuck. Like, Spekio is still fairly behind, but that's not a huge deal, you know. 1 stage behind, and the Mad Hatter stage is definitely a lot easier than Mr. Freeze. Ooh, Wibu just trying to kill this skate person. Do you know who this is, Mike?
No, just a random Mr. Freeze flunky. It is worth noting. And a Mr. Freeze flunky, but it is worth noting that this is the level that people are going to get stuck on, that Wibu is on right now. And even though Wibu is in the lead, there's going to be a platforming section that I don't think he'll be stuck here the entire time, but he could be stuck here for a good portion of the match. And it's coming up, I think, right around now, actually. So you have to make a bunch of blind jumps. And he's like trying to figure out what he's supposed to do. And the thing is, you just have to make a bunch of blind jumps to the left. On platforms that are about the size of what he was just jumping off of right then. Is Roar at the column? I think Roar is close to the column, yes. I don't know if Roar approached the column because I wasn't paying attention to his screen, but it looks like he might be backtracking now because he's really confused as to what to do.
I think you might be right, yeah. Definitely, he's having a bit of a hard time knowing how to progress.
That's the thing. Because there's nothing indicating that you can even break the thing, and so like it's not necessarily a bad move to try and see if there's like some unblocked area or something, and that's what threw me off too. Because like there's nothing indicating that you have to break that column. Okay, he broke it too. It took him a couple of minutes, but he broke through.
Okay,
right.
That's always good to see a little bit of progress being made.
Wibu just kind of clipped up and skipped a whole bunch of platforming.
What?
So there's actually a good chance he could beat this game.
Oh my gosh. Well, if Wibu doesn't fall back down, right?
Yeah, that's true. If Wibu doesn't fall back down.
I mean, skipping platforming is always approved when it comes to Kusogr4nde. Oh, apparently Royal Blue Wizard also did that.
So the problem is that I beat this game in 2 sessions, and the second session was the last stages, so I don't remember the first stages as clearly as the last stages. I just remember spending so long on the second stage of Mr. Freeze. It's so bad.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, it's not a good game. Although apparently Spekio is really enjoying this, so there you go. There's a bad game in mind for everyone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Spekio... I know Spekio was a little bit concerned about the points going into this match, because Spekio needs to take at least 3rd. Well, everybody here needs to take at least 3rd to stay in for the bracket. 2nd and 1st automatically make it to the bracket. 3rd Spekio can move on to the bracket, but the others would have to enter a tiebreaker if they took third. Yeah, this match definitely matters for the players.
Uh-oh, Wibu fell down. So yeah, he's going through the platforming struggle. Because this is really the level that's gonna wall the heck out of most people. Like, if it's not Freeze 1 and the stupid ice column, it's this one with the moving up and down platforms. And yeah, and that's the thing. If you like try to rush it, then you'll just screw up more, and then you'll just go all the way back down to the bottom like Roar did. Okay, it looks like Redford is doing the same thing that Roar did. I don't blame him, because there's something blocking your way, and the game gives you no indication that, you know, you'd actually have to kick it.
Yeah. I mean, there is the assumption.
Oh no,
when
wait!
Actually, go ahead.
It looks like he's on the boss, so I am wrong. He just got past it.
Oh, nice. Well, good. Redford is making some progress here. Like, here's the deal.
So if Spekio wants a chance, the great equalizer is going to be Mr. Freeze 2. Because the platforming is just so bad here. Yeah, Carol, this is a very clunky game. And that's what makes Mr. Freeze 2 so bad, because you have to do a lot of precise jumping in a game with very imprecise controls. That also drops your input sometimes.
Okay, I really like the guys who climb up and down the ice wall. They're adorable, you know? I would like to be their friend. I'm just saying, Mike, I need friends in Batman universe, and simply put, not many of these people really fit the bill. But Ice Climber, yeah, he's a good guy.
Ice Climber, is he a friend?
Yeah, his hat. Look at his hat. It's so classy. Salt.
Okay, it looks like BlasphemousRoar is catching up to where Wibu is.
Hey, Spekio is moving on to level 2. Yeah, Spekio is definitely not out of this at all.
Yeah. And yeah, they're all just really struggling, like, where do they go? How do they get up there? And then, even when they get up there, they have to go through the moving platforms. And that's why this level took me at least 20 or 30 minutes, because it's really that bad.
Yeah, are the moving platforms slippery at all because this is an ice level, or is it just
no,
bad controls?
I mean, they're not slippery per se. They're just... It's hard to stay on them just because of how bad the controls are in this game. Yeah, and also the platform detection in this game is not good, as you've probably noticed. Like, if you're even slightly off the platforms, even if it looks like you're about to land, you don't land on them. Yep, we're gonna see people in here for a while, though, boy.
Oh, yeah. Everybody is on Freeze. Like, honestly, Freeze is going to determine who really moves into first place. Because even though Wibu and BlasphemousRoar have had a commanding lead, that's changing. It's changing a lot.
Freeze is the great equalizer. And here's the thing. The rest of the game is not as hard as this. If they get past this, they will make quick progress. Because I remember Scarecrow's levels being easy. And the Joker's levels are not too bad either. There's one bad part in Joker's levels, but I think they'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Mark Hamill did the voice of the Joker in The Adventures of Batman Robin, or Batman the Animated Series, and he was a great Joker. He's definitely the best animated Joker that has ever been around.
I have a question. Who is your favorite Batman villain, Mike?
That's a good question. It might just be the Joker.
Okay.
Just because he's such an antithesis to Batman, and there's always been a lot of interesting stories around him. There's actually something kind of funny about Mr. Freeze in the animated series, is that before the animated series, Mr. Freeze didn't have much of a backstory, except he was cold, and and his theme was cold stuff. Like, that was pretty much it. But then, like, the animated series actually gave him a backstory of how he was trying to put his wife into cryogenic stasis and trying to cure her illness. And then, but it was costing the corporation they worked for money. So he actually has a very tragic backstory.
Oh no!
In the animated series, yeah, it's actually a really good episode too. So they did a really good job of writing a backstory and lore for Mr. Freeze in the animated series, and he's definitely one of my favorite villains in the animated series.
Oh my gosh, this level is so...
I know, it's so bad! Like, I'm not exaggerating when I said it took me 20 or 30 minutes to beat this level. I mean, these are strong players, so I can see them beating it faster than 20 or 30 minutes, but it's still taking them a while.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it doesn't really matter that much for Spekio, because even though Spekio was behind most of the time and struggling to figure out the double jumps, like, if he just gets those jumps, like, before everyone else does, then, like, he has a good chance of catching up.
Oh my gosh. Just the flashing, the constant flashing is starting to get to me, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just, like, can't handle those, like, having all these sprites in the screen, so they just made the score and the health bar flicker. If a player runs out of lives, they have to continue. I don't remember if continuing puts you at the same point as dying does, or if you have to start at the beginning of a level.
Shentok is... Oh, yeah?
That is another... Oh, sorry. That is another thing about the animated series, is that Harley Quinn, Joker's assistant, do you know who she is?
Yeah, I've seen pictures. I don't know what she really does.
Well, she was actually created in the animated series. And she's been a staple in the comics ever since. And basically, she's kind of like Joker's assistant or sidekick. And she also has one of those tragic backstories, too.
Aw.
And yeah, she's really crazy.
Well, I mean, it happens. Yeah. I mean, after what they've gone through, you know, can you really blame them?
Yeah, true.
Maybe a little bit. Little tiny bit of blame.
It doesn't look as bad if you're playing Game Gear, but then if you're playing on Game Gear, you probably can't see it at all because the sprites are so tiny.
See, Mike, I'm sort of a Batman villain, okay? Because I led a normal life until my parents, they didn't die. What did they do? I don't know.
I hope her parents aren't dead.
No, they're alive. They're very much alive.
Okay.
But then, because of my tragic backstory, I went crazy and made everybody play bad video games for the rest of my life. There we go. Tragic backstory, bad video games. Good.
I mean, not everyone had a very tragic backstory in the animated series, or in Batman.
Oh, my tragic backstory is that Dragon Dark made me play Athena. That's my tragic backstory. It's all Athena's fault.
Oh, okay. It's all Athena. You really put a lot of your issues on Athena, don't you?
Oh, heck yeah. She's a good scapegoat, you know?
True. Alright, so Spekio's getting to the end of Freeze 1, whereas everyone else has really not made much progress in Freeze 2. In fact, everyone is complaining about the input detection and the jump button not being responsive at all. Let's see if Spekio can figure this out real fast. So about double jumps, if you see the person struggling with double jumps, it's really not their fault. It's just that bad. So will he punch? Yep, he just kicked through the ice. So now he's going to be on freeze 2 in a minute or two. RBW, I think someone is going to actually make it past this section. Like I said, it took me 20 to 30 minutes to make it past here, and these are strong players, so I do think they will make it past here. At least, I think at least 2 of them will.
Yeah, who is my Batman, Mike? Can you tell me that? Do I have a Batman who's gonna defeat me? Everybody here is too afraid.
No, Faizu! It is another, would be another one of Batman's Gallery of Rogues. I mean, technically, we'd all be in the Gallery of Rogues, because we're all Kusogr4nde GMs.
Oh, I like it.
So then who is the one who's to save everyone from the bad games?
Oh, Vic Tokai! Oh!
Vic Tokai!
He went to the dark side. Oh yeah, Kid Cool is my Batman. He went to the dark side just to make sure that he could defeat true evil. Or Andy. Ooh, Vic Tokai. Maybe Vic Tokai and Andy's child. Yeah, and then, yeah, Vic Tokai.
Hey, well, Spekio is in 4th, but has caught up to everyone else. So there is a chance for him to catch up. However, Red Autumn for... Let's see. Oh, no, never mind. Not... Okay. It did look like he was making some progress, but...
Hey, Spekio is on to the same level that everybody else is on. Yeah. So that's hopeful.
Hey, remember 10 minutes ago when there was, like, a lot of people in different stages and the like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No longer. This level is so bad.
It is. Like, I consider this level the true final boss, because, like, nothing else in this game is as hard as this level.
I like that all of the players are typing in chat, by the way, in Discord.
Yep.
Spekio is really enjoying this. Wibu hates the input detections. Most unresponsive jump button ever. You said that it felt like it had built-in lag, right?
Yeah. So, it's like, if you're just running in one direction, it doesn't lag, but if you turn around, there's a definite delay to it. It's very hard to describe until you play it, but the controls in this game are very, very bad. And as you've seen, like, all over the game, people have failed at double jumps, and it's not really their fault. It's so hard to get a consistent timing down for the double jumps. Because it's just not responsive, and the game just eats your input sometimes.
Okay. Oh my gosh. This is a game.
Yeah, so pretty much... So we're at the halfway point, and the way this works is that everyone's on the same stage. Spekio hasn't quite made it to the point where everyone else is stuck, but he's getting close, so that puts him in 4th. Wibu is in 1st just because he's made it to the area first. BlasphemousRoar is 2nd, and Redford is 3rd, but basically whoever gets past this platforming section and this stage first is going to be in 1st.
Is the game pretty trivial after that, or...?
Yes, it is. It actually isn't very hard after this. Because it's at that point where, like, you've gotten used to the crummy controls. So, like, and there's no more platforming like this after that, after this section. It's just this section is so bad.
So when are we going to see someone speedrun this game?
I don't know. Oh, and the best part is when those guys climbing the walls like shoot you and hit you, you're immediately knocked off if you're hanging off of the ceiling.
Oh no.
Yeah, okay. I mean, Liz already speedruns Scunny, and she thinks that that's better than this, even though she's never touched this.
I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily say she's wrong after seeing this, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know about this level, Mike.
Yeah, like so if this level didn't exist, I don't think this would actually be bad enough for the 24 to 25 pointers. But because this level exists, it's perfect.
This is so unplayable. Like, I think Spekio finally caught up to where everybody else is.
Yeah. No, not quite. He's getting knocked back down to the very bottom, but he's getting close to it. It is worth noting that when I was consulting with RBW, he said that it's a janky platformer, and Liz would probably do really well at this, so you shouldn't give it to her. So those are his words, not mine.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, that was after he said, "Wah," because, yeah, this game is very bad.
I mean, that's about right. Yeah, good assessment there, RBW. Just so everybody knows, yeah, we try to test a lot of these games with each other. Oftentimes we just share games with other GMs just so that we can get the flavor, we can understand what kind of pain they're doling out, and also to make sure that it's going to be playable for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be playable and watchable for an hour. Did Wibu soft lock?
Wibu? Uh-oh.
Oh no. I hope he... Oh, no.
Oh, okay. He's free.
Actually, he got past the platforming section.
What?
Is it? Yeah. While we were all joking around and how painful this game was, that's definitely progress.
Oh, nice. Maybe. That might be good.
It's so hard to tell because everything looks the same in the stupid platforming section.
Oh, by the way, Relic is pointing out to me that Roar...
But he really doesn't want to fall here. Oh, I just cursed him.
Yeah, let me just say, I have no idea who is where in this stage. And even with people trying to point out to me, I'm not 100% sure I believe them.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track. And sorry, I meant, it seems like Roar is also on that area. I think I'm getting the two of them confused. Anyway, they've both made some progress, and yeah, Roar is now struggling with the second platforming boss, which is the disappearing platform. So, like, you don't have time to line up a jump there, because those platforms will disappear. And then you have to wait for them to refresh.
Like, there's so many times that it looks like Batman should land on a platform, but he just doesn't.
Yeah.
His falling animation is so good because it's not an animation. It's a static sprite. He's just...
Yeah. So, it's interesting to note that the Genesis version of this game has basically the same sprite but more detailed, but it's super well animated. Like, the Genesis Batman Adventures of Batman Robin is actually incredibly impressive on a technical level. Like, lots of big sprites, very smooth action, like, lots of cool effects here and there. But they use this, like, the same or similar sprite for Game Gear, and it just does not work.
Not at all. Oh, I love this game.
Oh, yeah, Relic, that's true. Like, I've suffered through this before. Like, I beat this game, and yes, every single jump is blind, and you're right. It's into the space of, like, a teaspoon. Like I said, this is the true final boss, because they're going to find that the rest of this game is actually not very hard.
I love when people complain if there's a single blind jump in a video game these days, you know, Mike? It's like, yeah, look at what we played.
It's just full of them.
Look at what was dished out in the Genesis Game Gear era.
Oh no, Roar! No, Roar! Oh no! Oh well, Roar is still in first, because he's definitely made the most progress, but it's going to take him a while to make up to where he was. Not all the way back down, but a significant way back down, PB Doughboy.
Oh my gosh. How can you justify, like, selling this? Being like, it's not playable. This is not okay.
Well, it's the Game Gear, and it didn't sell, so that's how they could justify selling this. In fact, this might have been created by Batman's Rogues Gallery. Maybe Mr. Freeze, because he has the hardest level.
Batman, Robin, Game Gear. Like, this is fun. I enjoy this, okay? They're not enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it.
I don't know. Spekio said he was enjoying it, but that was back when he was in the Mad Hatter level, so not this level.
Yeah. So if I'm correct, this was made by Novotrade, right?
I think Red Onenford is getting... Yeah, both Red Onenford and Wibu are kind of in a similar section, and Red Onenford almost made it, but double jump just didn't come out.
Oh no.
You don't have to double jump here, but if you don't double jump, you have to really commit to a leftward jump. And so he was correct there, but the platform hadn't respawned yet, so he got screwed over. Because this is a good video game, and I don't know what determines like how long it takes for the platforms to respawn. The best trick seems to be just like going a fair ways down to make sure it's despawned, and then go back up.
So the company who made this, yeah, they made Echo.
Oh, sorry. Nova Soul said time to create this entire game in Mario Maker.
Oh no, Nova Soul, don't.
I mean, but you do have to beat the levels in order to post them online. I'm just saying.
Dev exit, Mike. That's all you need. The developer exit. Anyway, the company that made this, they made Echo the Dolphin. They also did Cyborg Justice. They did a game called A Year at Pooh Corner. I just have to say that because I love the way it sounds.
Pooh Corner?
A Year at Pooh Corner.
That means they would have also made Exo Squad, because it is the Echo the Dolphin belt.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, okay, it's Winnie the Pooh. It's not just the it's not Pooh. That's what it is. That's the difference. Okay, so everybody is still trying this platforming section. It looks like Spekio is getting close to catching up, actually. Yes, Spekio's here. Everybody is in the same section, Mike. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I mean, when Redonenford was asking me about this game, and he was like, I think there's something wrong with this game, because he was talking about, like, the flickering health and score bars. And he was like, you know, I think this game's glitched out now. And he's like, but if it's not, then this is bad, and you should feel bad, Mike. And I said, well, there's nothing wrong with it, because that's just what happens, and no, I don't feel bad. And that's how I feel about this. I don't feel bad.
Mike, you don't feel bad? I mean, no mercy?
Would make me feel bad if I did something like give Conan to 4th placers. Just say.
Oh my gosh. I'll give you Conan. That's the way that I treat my minions. I give them even worse video games. It's kind of true. I mean, I did give you that Daffy Duck game.
That is true, and everyone said it was a nicer game than what's been given out, and maybe that's technically true, but it definitely wasn't a nice game.
Oh no. Oh, you know, that's partly what I love about Kusogr4nde, because early on, there are matches that tend to be a little bit kinder, some games that are much more whimsical, and then every once in a while you get a real bad one thrown into the mix, and you're like, how is this here today?
I think BlasphemousRoar is near the end.
Oh my gosh.
I see an enemy. That means progress, because enemies don't respawn in this game. No, I'm not now wearing a shirt that says hench on the back. Hey, how do you know if I'm the henchman or if I'm the one leading this? Ooh. Alright, let's see if BlasphemousRoar can finally get past this stage. Oh, no! That leap of faith. The problem is he had faith, the game did not.
The game's like, faith denied.
Yeah, but between Redonenford and Wibu, I would say Wibu is in second simply because he's made it to this area before Redonenford has, but if one of them makes it, you know, more progress like Roar has, then that'll distinctly put them in second.
Oh, per one review, Batman...
Oh no!
Oh no!
I forgot the platform, but overshot.
No! No!
But Wibu made it on the platform. And this is a platform he can actually take his time on.
Okay.
He should take it very slowly.
Oh,
he's very scared.
Okay, good.
Okay, so now he's... Okay, so this definitely puts Wibu in second.
Okay.
Yeah, Wibu. So Wibu goes by Wibu on Discord, so that's why I'm saying Wibu sometimes.
Yeah, I usually try to keep their Twitch usernames up here. That way it's easy for you to go follow and share some love for the players here.
Yeah. Wibu is taking it very slowly, which is smart. Very smart at this point. This is honestly anyone's game. Spekio is a little bit behind everyone else, but there's nothing that's saying that he can't catch up.
Yeah, true. Oh my gosh. This one person, I did find a review of this, and they're saying, after all, it's not a horrid game, though. It could have been better. Of course, the same could be said for a lot of other games, just for varying reasons. They actually gave the music and sound a 9 out of 10, gameplay 7 out of 10. It wasn't the most fun I've ever had, but it wasn't bad either. It was just okay. It was a simple platformer, nothing else. The levels were slightly maze-like, but there wasn't much to explore. Your gadgets varied depending on the pickups you received, but they weren't real special either. Okay. I don't know if they played this stage.
For anyone making fun of the 9 out of 10 for music, for Game Gear, this is a 9 out of 10 for the music.
Oh, for sure.
BlasphemousRoar made it to the boss. This is a definitive first place for BlasphemousRoar. And fortunately, even though he died against the boss, he just picks right back up.
I love that they gave this a 9 out of 10, and then they're like, some more sound effects would have been another nice improvement. After all, when I would beat a level, it made a noise that sounded as though the game was going to crash on me. 9 out of 10, Mike.
9 out of 10.
Game sounded like it would crash, but it didn't. Oh, is that a Mr. Freeze I see on the bottom right? BlasphemousRoar is doing some nice fighting here.
Yep. As I said, BlasphemousRoar definitely in first now, and Mr. Freeze is pretty trivial. So here's the thing about Scarecrow's level. It's not very hard. He's gotten through the true final boss of the game. There is a chance he could beat the game, but he'd really have to hurry.
Okay.
Because he has 2 Scarecrow levels and 3 Joker levels to get through.
Wow.
But it's not impossible, because he's past the true final boss.
The true final boss, Mr. Freeze.
Exactly. The platforms.
You know, all I can remember is Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze, and that makes Mr. Freeze so much better, you know?
I've never seen Batman and Robin, but I've heard the only reason why I'd want to watch the movie is for its camp factor.
Oh, it's camp. Redford, no! I'm so sad for the players, but I'm so happy for us.
As you can see, like, Scarecrow's level, you'll get hit a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing about this game and passwords is that passwords don't actually track anything that you have. So you'll actually get a full reset on lives and continues. It is worth noting that you do lose all of your special weapons, but that's not really much of a setback.
You know what?
Even if someone was to game over completely, it's really not that bad.
Mike, I've been needing to do another movie night. We might be able to do the one with Mr. Freeze.
I would enjoy that.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's the only Batman movie I haven't seen, actually.
We'll go ahead and plot a date. That will be fun. Good.
Sounds good. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, BlasphemousRoar taking another death. Honestly, I can see how you say that doesn't really matter at all. Like, lives are not a problem in this.
No, you get so many, and you get 3 continues, that you can pretty much just power your way through the game after you get past Mr. Freeze's levels. Just Mr. Freeze's levels are total butt.
When we do group movies, by the way, we do have an ongoing Discord chat, so don't worry, we will likely have the chance to discuss all of the amazing things that happen with the movie. Okay, we have just about 10 minutes left. This is going so good. Like, I would be so sad if Spekio, Wibu, and Redford all are unable to beat this stage. But at the same time, I'd be pretty happy about that, you know?
I mean, the thing is, they're definitely making some progress. It's just very incremental.
Yeah. I'd really like to hear some other music. Like, I dig these jams, but I need a new jam. Also, I want to hear the level complete sound. See if it does sound like the game is crashing.
Yeah, I love how 9 out of 10 game sounds like it's crashing when you beat a level. So the boss that BlasphemousRoar is on, all you have to do is shoot out or punch out these little glowing buttons. That's it.
Aha.
Yeah, Wibu has definitely made progress, but still struggling. Looks like Spekio is on the same area as Redford is, except Spekio was kind of tearing through there, but spoke a little too soon. And Wibu is on Mr. Freeze!
Yeah, it did sound like a
Wibu
crashing sound, kind of. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when you get to the boss, yeah. It's like, boo!
Mew. It sounds like Atari, honestly, more than anything else.
Yeah, it does sound like Atari. Okay, well, here's the thing. Even though both Spekio and Redford are in 3rd and 4th, and there's not much of a chance that they can catch up. Because, as I said, you know, Mr. Freeze is the true roadblock. It really does matter who gets past this section first. Because whoever gets past the section first gets a chance to live. Whoever doesn't has no chance of getting in the bracket.
Yeah, this is definitely a fight here. This match really matters for 3rd and 4th place. You don't want to be in 4th. 3rd is livable.
Yeah. 3rd for Spekio means he gets in the bracket. 3rd for Redford means that he'd still have to do one more tiebreaker match to see if he can get into the bracket.
Oh yeah, people are happy we get new music.
But I'm pretty sure this is the 1st level music.
It's new enough. It's different.
New enough, exactly. It's different music. It's different music.
Oh my gosh. Mike, I'm really glad that you chose this game. Like, I didn't realize how amazing Mr. Freeze's stage would be, but then again, I haven't really played this game, you know?
Yeah, and here's how trivial Scarecrow's stage is. He's already on Scarecrow.
Wow.
Like, that's how easy the stage is. Like, that's the thing. It gets so much easier after Mr. Freeze. I'm not kidding when I said Mr. Freeze's stage is the true final boss. Yeah, and there's 3 Joker levels. There's Entrance, there's Fighting Harley Quinn, and then there's the final stage with the Joker himself.
I think BlasphemousRoar is a little stunned because he already beat that set of stages.
And he's like, whoa, I already beat another level. Yeah, it's been like, first stage was about 10 minutes. The second stage was about 40? 35, 40, and then, yeah, Scarecrow's was about 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, I saw a little bit of progress in Red Ottenford's screen because I saw an enemy. It looks like he's made a bit of progress. He's having some trouble with the double jumps, as, you know, anyone would.
Yeah, Batman just... I don't know, he's not actually a superhero. He's got no powers. So double jumping is hard when you're just a normal dude.
Well, his power is money. Although if he really had money, then he wouldn't have had a game on the Game Gear.
He'd have rocket boots. And a game not on the Game Gear. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I don't know. I think the sign of having a lot of money is when people make crappy games about you.
I think Red Ottenford's almost at Mr. Freeze. I think he's on Mr. Freeze. Yep, right now.
Yeah, so that is definitely third.
That pretty much locks his third place.
Like, Spekio has to make progress right now in order to have a chance to stay in this.
Exactly.
That's not impossible, but oh, it feels impossible with this game.
Yeah. Alright, so the part that BlasphemousRoar is on, you have to hit these little balls on the side, and if you don't hit them in time, then the platform just drops.
Nightmare prison!
Yep. Although he was already in the Nightmare prison because he was in Mr. Freeze's level.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised he's not just jumping up now, but anyway.
Yeah, everybody...
Worked out past that trap pretty easily.
Like, honestly...
It can be a little tricky at first, but... Oh,
oh, no! No!
Yeah, I think with that, we're definitely not going to see game completion, although BlasphemousRoar is on the third to last stage. I can definitely see getting to the second to last stage, but not the last stage.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Honestly, what Redford should be doing is just...
The jumping in this game just has so much inertia and momentum, it's really hard to control.
True. What Redford and Wibu should probably be doing right now is just making as much progress as possible, you know. Don't worry about taking damage. You can take all the damage you want, just rush.
Yeah. I don't think Redford can catch up to Wibu unless he really super rushes.
He's been taking a lot more time, so...
Wibu is on the boss. And smartly just decided to punch everything.
Good plan.
So it's pretty unlikely that Red Ottenford is going to catch up, but who knows.
Yeah, Wibu is not waiting for the camera to scroll at all. He's not being careful at all, he's just rushing in order to try to get to the end.
Batman has a dog in Batman Beyond.
Hey, BlasphemousRoar fell again!
Yeah! He should just stop trying to go for the health power. It's clear he's trying to go for the health power. It's so not worth it. Like, I don't even... He already knows at this point that, like, dying doesn't even cost that much time. It costs way less time, and all the time he's losing all of this stupid platform.
Oh no, again! Whee!
And he waited too long! He just really loves this platform, what can I say?
It's so fun, look at it. You get to punch these things on the wall while you wait. It's just perfect. Okay, will he be able to escape the elevator boss?
I don't know. I said it was likely he was going to make it to the second to last stage, but there's only like, oh no! Okay, I'm not going to lie. Like, my struggle was just figuring this out in the first place, not like falling down 5 times in a row after getting past it. I don't remember struggling with that. And here's the best part. There's another one of these elevators later in the stage.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Spekio is at Mr. Freeze, by the way.
Oh, that's really significant. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough time for him to catch up.
I don't think so, especially since Mr. Freeze is kind of destroying it right now.
He did that to BlasphemousRoar too. So what all the players are doing is they're standing on top of his cannon, which just constantly hits you if you're standing on top of it. You have to actually back off of it and then fire projectiles at him.
Yeah, projectiles are definitely the way to go here.
And it's worth noting that if you hit down an attack, you'll do a diagonal down shot, but so you have to hold down, then press attack to do the crouching shots. So there you go. Everyone was able to beat Mr. Freeze.
Well, good. Even if it was dumb. Oh.
Although, unfortunately, we didn't really see any lead changes from it. The places pretty much stayed the same throughout the match, but it was still fun seeing everyone going through the struggle. It was real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that bottleneck area was so difficult. Oh my gosh. Well, good. 20 seconds left. I don't think anything is... Well, Wibu is actually really catching up to BlasphemousRoar, but...
hasn't made it to the first elevator yet. He's on the same level, so he's definitely made a lot of progress, but he's not in the same area at all.
Well, too bad. With 2 seconds left, there's no chance, because we are done with this match. Mike, what nightmares have you given us today?
Well, I mean, isn't it the Scarecrow's shtick? You know, to scare people with his fear gas and give them nightmares? Well, now I've just given them a platforming nightmare of their own.
Well, thank you. Oh, it's always good to have new nightmares. Thank you, Mike. I'll sleep well tonight. Well, I'm very impressed with how things went. It looks like BlasphemousRoar took the victory, Wibu second, Redford, or Redford third, and Spekio coming in fourth. Did I say third or fourth for Redford? It was third. I don't know. I'm losing my mind here. Let me go ahead and invite BlasphemousRoar to come chat with us about this game, because this was not the easiest game in the world. It was, oh my gosh, it was stressful. But yeah, Mike, what do you think about their performance?
I was definitely impressed. I kind of would have thought that they would have made it to, like, Scarecrow, maybe. Because here's the thing, I didn't know how Mr. Freeze's level was going to go. Because I knew that was the huge X factor in the match.
Oh, so, yeah.
Making it to the final set of levels was definitely impressive. So they definitely did well.
Hey, it looks like BlasphemousRoar is here. Hello!
Mike, you magnificent, evil mastermind. That was the worst game I might have... No, I've played Rise of the Robots. That was a really bad game. That was a really bad game.
So here's the best part. That final set of levels that you're on is nowhere near the platforming that one Mr. Freeze level did.
Yeah, that
Mr. Freeze level is the true final boss.
That was so hard. Because, alright, so for the viewers out there, I don't know if they explained it, but in order to do a double jump, you have to rapidly tap, like really rapidly tap the double jump. But then, in order to do a high double jump, which it turns out there's a difference, you need to
rapidly
if you mash it
and then you won't go high enough.
Yep, you have to specifically hit it exactly twice and hold the button the second time, or you go nowhere. And it's a crapshoot if it'll even.
It's not a mash. It's a very specific timing, and the timing always seems to change because the game drops inputs and lags all the time.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That is. It was no. This is the Kuso promise. I was promised bad games, and you delivered me bad games, and quite frankly, I cannot thank you more. I hate everything about this experience. From
You're
setting
welcome.
up Redford to playing this game. My frustration and rage is only encapsulated by my relief that it is over.
Well, no, it's not really over because you made it to the bracket.
We're talking about being Batman villains, and so I guess we're the Batman Rogues Gallery, and you're Batman because you actually had to go through all those frustrating challenges.
Good job, Batman.
Answered who Batman is, Bro Sencha.
Oh, nice! You're my Batman.
Arch nemesis.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to be my Batman, but okay. Yeah, welcome, Batman.
So as soon as the platform was revealed, I actually felt a lot more confident about this because on my own stream I do a lot of I was doing a thing where I'm playing random games.
Oh yeah,
just really random games, and for a week I did like, oh, let's play as many Genesis games or Game Gear games as I can, and I ended up beating 32 Game Gear games, which is probably more than anybody's ever seen or knew existed in their lives. So seeing the Game Gear, I'm like, all right, I know what this console has to throw at me. I know what I'm dealing with, but I was not prepared for Mr. Freeze.
No. Like,
no one's prepared. I'm not gonna lie, it took me pretty much as long as you did to get through that stage. It took me at least 20-30 minutes to get through that level alone.
I will say, though, I didn't hate the music. Not bad.
Yeah, exactly. For the Game Gear, that's like wins... I was gonna say an Oscar, but no, not an Oscar. Whatever they give for music stuff.
Yeah, it was
Grammy.
Absolutely a pretty rockin' Game Gear track.
Yeah, I liked it. Well, BlasphemousRoar, thank you so much. By the way, you and I are doing a little bit of plotting because you helped with Mystery Tournament. We're going to be racing a game sometime, I think, this next week. We just didn't do it this previous week because I was on my deathbed from a cold.
That's right. Yeah, I'm currently the head administrator for Mystery Tournament 14. So we're gonna, me and you, I've got some good bad games lined up for us. I promise you, I have been asking for recommendations so that I'm blind to these as well. So I have no idea what we're getting into.
Nice. I'm excited. So we'll go ahead and do that sometime this week. Thank you, BlasphemousRoar, for joining us. Everybody go join Mystery Tournament. By the way, the signups are until the end of the month, just like Big Bad Gameathon. So get yourself signed up or I'll kick you in the butt. Okay?
Does somebody with linking powers want to throw that link up in the chat?
Everybody has linking powers.
Do we? Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to throw a link up in the chat. I'm going to be like, yo, chat, guess what? Go here.
Do it. Do it, because I'm going to join. I forgot to sign up. So I thank you for the reminder. I will be joining this year. And hopefully I will be less scatterbrained than I usually am.
I look forward to rejecting all of your subs and resubmitting new ones for you.
No, I'm going to submit better game. Come on, you don't have to reject all my submissions. Okay.
I don't reject them by default. I played them, but that means that I had to play Wally Bear in the No Gang, and let me tell you, RNG is a thing.
Whatever, Wally Bear's great. Okay, see you later, BlasphemousRoar. Take care. Thank you so much, Mike. Well,
no problem.
Everybody, this is Kusogr4nde, the Bad Video Game Tournament. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who has dropped bits and resubscribed during this last match. Toon Pirate, James, thank you for the bits. Also, thank you, Stream Hatman, Shentalk, Pat from IT, and the Sea Wolf for resubscribing. If you happen to have Twitch Prime, you can boop that little button. If you don't happen to have Twitch Prime, you can not boop it.